Hello and welcome back. I want to talk to you a little bit more about Frida Kahlo as I fix up this print for when I pull it off the gel press. Sadly, it took on some damage. Therefore, we're going to fix it up. As you watch me fix this painting up, I want to talk to you more about Frida. I want to share some notes with you. If you hear sounds in the background, I live in a house that works. So, laundry, cats, dogs, and another human. I live in a space that is lived in. So, life happens. All right, enough of that. Let's talk about Frida. These are the notes that I took from my book of Frida in photographs. I would read for 15 to 60 minutes a day, just taking in however much I could, and then trying to summarize in little paragraphs what I got from it. So, Frida Kahlo, her photos. So, this book is a culmination of decades of work and dedication by many people, past and present, working together to share Frida and her life with us all. And then I wrote, Gracias, amigos, because I'm stunned by the beauty. So this is what I learned about Frida. She used photography in her work as inspiration, and actually in her work, she would save images and inspiration from books and magazines. These photos in the book help us to see into Frida's mind. Over 6,000 photographs are in Frida's archives. I need you to think about that. Most of us have 6,000 photographs on our Instagram. So for that time, she was living around the time of World War II and earlier, just to give you a perspective of time. So she had over 6,000 photographs in her archive. Her home, Casa Azul, was donated to the people of Mexico. It's now known as the Frida Kahlo Museum in Mexico City, Mexico. As I understand it, the archive slept for over 50 years. 35 years past Diego's wish of 15. So, Diego is somebody I haven't spoken of. That is Frida's husband. On again, off again husband. Diego asked that after he was to pass on, the person who was put in trust would wait just 15 years and then open it all up, open up the archives for the people. Her husband was also a famous artist and muralist, Diego Rivera. Now we get to see all of the hidden artifacts of Frida Kahlo's life. So Frida and her friends would collect and share photos of each other. It became a habit. Frida and Diego loved their collection of photos of people they loved and admired. They would meet them through the years as they traveled the world because of their art. They would swap photographs of their friends and write little messages on the back. Sometimes in the book, you can see people ripped out of the photos, so obviously things didn't go too well with that person. So Frida used to talk about her photos and the reason why she kept them. She would say that it served to keep the people close to her in her memory. It made her daydream about those people and the times that she was spending with them. In the first half of the 20th century, when extreme radical artistic movements sprang up, photography took on a big role in culture as a means of communication and artistic expression. Frida marked her photos with names, dates, and other important information to keep things in order. Frida did change her date of birth on some of her photos, taking 3 years off of her age. It was changed to line up with the start of the Mexican Revolution. She put red lipstick kisses on photos and papers for people she was fond of. A beautiful way to express affection to those she loved. She also spoke of pain in an ironic and crude and blunt way, as if it would somehow chase away the pain. Frida's life was filled with physical and emotional pain. It was in her art, in her words, in her face, day after day. She took that pain and changed it into expressions of love, beauty, laughter, pain, loss, and tears. Frida's love for photography came from her father, photographer Guillermo Kahlo. Frida always had a camera in her house, so important people, places, pets, moments, and things could get recorded in time. Frida collected dolls to hold the space for the children she wanted so badly, and that her body could not bear for her. Frida became motherly and doted on many animals, and of course, she was an amazing auntie too. Frida made a habit of signing all of her works of art, paintings, sketches, photos, or text. Frida's photo compositions were used for reference in her paintings. People say Frida embodied both characters from A Streetcar Named Desire, broken yet strong. Long live life. That's an interesting one. It was thought that Frida spent most of her time in her bed, painting, socializing, talking on bulky phones, laughing, crying, eating, dreaming, and suffering long in pain. Most people look at Frida and talk about how much she was influenced by her father and husband. Her father, Wilhelm Kahlo, was from Baden-Baden, Germany. I lived in Baden-Baden, Germany when I was a kid. So this quote from the book talks about how Frida felt about her heritage. So this is an actual quote. Frida was very proud of her, quote, Indian heritage, unquote. It was a source of great pride for her. That's from her mother's side. Frida was also very happy to express her Mexican heritage as well. This was regularly celebrated in her traditional clothing. Tejana women were renowned for their beauty, intelligence, and strong character. Their society was based on a matriarchal system where women ran the markets and handled fiscal matters. Frida also wore these clothing styles at the encouragement of her husband, Diego. An old photo gives us the clue that it was likely Mathilde, Frida's mother, who really was Frida's first influence regarding her fashion choices. Frida chose also to honor both of her heritages, part Mexican, part European, in the painting The Two Fridas. Frida also inherited something very distinct and striking to behold from her mother: her strong eyebrows, thick and joined in the middle. She felt pride in that. She never felt embarrassed, and why should she? Frida said her mother was a great friend. Frida was a kindred spirit with her mother. Her father encouraged her to be intellectually independent. After kindergarten, Frida was sent to a German school. Frida was a defiant, modern woman committed to social issues, immersed in nationalism and communist ideology. Frida rebelled against her mother's conservatism. Frida's mother was the embodiment of her conflicting emotions, rational and irrational. When her mother passed, Frida sobbed and sobbed. It was very sad for her. Frida's photos at this time showed extreme anguish, and there was darkness in her eyes, an unmaskable darkness of sorrow. And that's where I sort of ended the book. I think I kind of got down in the sads with her loss of her mom. But I think I'm going to get back into it after a big break. And if I learn more, I'll share more. I hope that you enjoyed watching me put this picture back together of Frida. And I hope that you feel inspired by Frida's story. And you spend some time creating something beautiful and fun. All the very best to you. Come back and see what I have going on the bench. Ta-ra.